It's been 3 weeks since the release of the Kayo Armory deck, and with it, the release of Savage Sash, the absolutely incredible new chess piece for Brutes. We suspected it was going to be good, but there's theory, and then there's actual play. And after 3 weeks of play, I'm pretty confident in saying that this card is definitely ban-worthy in Blitz. A huge shout out to our channel members for supporting what we do here. If you want to get involved with the channel and the Dice Commando community, please consider joining as a channel member. Remember, these videos are only possible with your support. You can show that support with a like, a subscribe, and by leaving us a comment and sharing your feedback. Community first, and go Commando. Hey there, my flesh and blood friends. Welcome back to Dice Commando, and go again, a fabulous cast. And thanks so much for tuning in here on your Flesh and Blood Friday. But it's not just any Friday now, is it? That's right, Part the Misfail. Pre-releases are this weekend across the globe. Some of you may have your grubby little paws on some of those packs already, but I'm pretty excited for this weekend. I'm actually going to be live streaming the Gongai one tomorrow on Saturday, so check that out for whatever it's worth. Should be a good time hanging out. But with all that said, again, good luck with your rips, by the way. All 8 packs. Definitely going to get some M's. Marvels, whatever you're going to get. All right, enough of that. Let's get into today's topic. So Savage Sash, it's been 3 weeks, as I mentioned in the intro, since the KO deck dropped. And, people had been playing around with it, doing theory crafting from the moment it was spoiled. But now that we've actually gotten it on the table, I'm officially ready to say I do think it probably needs to be banned in Blitz. I think that's a fair statement, and that's the case I'm going to make tonight, right? So Savage Sash, what you can do, not only does it block for 2, but you can pop it to reduce the cost by 1 of all your action cards, okay? Very, 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 very strong. Very, very strong, okay? Just block intelligently versus Decimator Great Axe, your shreds, and stuff like that, okay? Now, it's no secret, there's been plenty of videos out there already. The card's good, okay? You can do massive, massive play lines off of a single blue, right? You've got Wild Ride, Pulping, Bare Fangs. Note that with this, a lot of people have actually been playing Beaten Trackers just for the pop, giving up that 2 armor, because as a comparison, I mean to Scabskin Leathers, just because of how good this is, and being able to just do your thing on your pop-off turn, right? That's a lot. Like that's a lot of itself. Okay, so again, I'm not cracking any eggs with the fact that, right, nobody here needs convinced of what the combo lines are. There's 1.5 million videos you can see. Got one line up across the screen already. You get it. Okay, but what I really want to put this in context to is, I mean, there's basically no reason not to run this as, I'm not gonna say every brute, because Levia might still run the Carrion Husk because 6 blocks pretty good. I've seen kind of both, at least in the last 3 weeks. I've seen people running both. I respect that. But let's go to Rhinar and Kayo here, right? Barkbone Strapping has been, if you're not running like Tunic or something like that in that type of build, Barkbone Strapping's been kind of the go-to card. And functionally, if we're really honest with ourselves, in most cases, you're expecting to get 1 resource off of Barkbone Strapping. You'll definitely take 2. You'll sure as heck take 3. That 2 actually is going to change maybe how you play your turn, completely fair. But what you really want off of this is 1 block, and then the 1 resource when you need it to be able to do a 2/2 with your claw or something like that, right? At least that's my impression, is I'm only asking for 1 off of Barkbone Strapping, okay? And you have a basically 5 out of 6 chance to get it, or more, okay? Now let's compare that to Savage Sash, right? So even in Rhinar, this is going to get you effectively the same as what we desire as a minimum off of Barkbone. Okay, so this card is just strictly better because you can't miss either. So there's really no reason not to play. I mean, I guess there's a reason if you're trying to get 2 for a claw or something like that off of Barkbone. I get it, but that's kind of a different situation, right? Functionally, Savage Sash is doing everything you want, plus more, so it's just a straight creep on this. But Barkbone obviously is more because every card you play gets you 1 effective resource off of it, right? Again, you all get it, okay? So now what I want to do is take us to, cards that have been, look at the current banned and suspended list for Blitz, right? You have cards on there like Heart and Crosstrap, okay? You obviously have, you have like Skeleta and stuff like that. I mean, we get it. But Heart and Crosstrap was banned because it let you play a 2-drop for free, right? Now, I realize that Savage Sash isn't completely 100% analogous to getting 2 resources for free, but it kind of is, right? So I think if you put Cross-Trap that didn't block and let you get 2 for free, you look at Savage Sash and you put that in context of what it does versus Cross-Trap, I think that's a fair comparison. Right now, Cross-Trap not banned in CC. Savage Sash, I'm not asking for it to be banned in CC. I am saying, though, that with Blitz being the 20 health format and you being able to put up, again, I'll put up the thing, right? You can consistently come with 20 plus, very, very, very consistently come up with 20 plus hands, 20 plus damage hands on your Savage Sash turn with Kayo. It's very easy to do, actually. And that's just too much for Blitz, right? It's just too much for Blitz, right? You can have your own opinion about CC and all that. That's not the context here, right? That's not where I'm going, okay? But I do think in Blitz, there's an argument. Right now, something interesting out of the conversation we had on the Discord recently was someone's like, well, what about Courage of Blade Hold? And to be fair, I have heard calls out there for a Courage of Blade Hold maybe being banned. I actually don't agree with it. But I understand the argument, like in a Boltyn Lumina, something like that, how it's kind of pretty stupid, right? Or on a Blood in Her Hands turn, it's pretty stupid, right? But I do think there's a functional difference. So certainly I'm biased as a Warrior player, completely grant that. But I do think there's a functional difference in that your weapons on their own don't get go again, whereas many actions on their own get go again, right? In case in point, Wild Ride, Pulping, stuff like that with Savage Sash. So whereas with Courage of Blade Hold, you have to do, it's not too hard. Well, with Boltyn, it is a lot of setup, right? But, like Blood in Her Hands or something like that with like OG Kassai, it wasn't all that much setup. Like, let's be honest, it was pretty good. So fair enough argument in that case. But with Savage Sash, you have to do basically no setup other than arsenal a card and block witness so you get to maximize your value. I mean, that's not 100% of the time, but it's like 99.5% of the time, right? So very low barrier to entry, very high ceiling of payoff, and it can just facilitate way too much damage. Whereas if you were again to compare it as like Courage of Blade Hold on Blitz format, again, I'm talking here, right? Compare it in Blitz format to what Boltyn can do with it. It's really not fair to compare those two in that aspect, in my opinion. So anyway, that's my piece. It's a cool card. I like it. I'm playing my KO deck. It's fun. It's absolutely fun. I'm never a huge fan of being like the guy being like, oh, this needs banned, this needs banned, this needs banned. But I think in this case, in the Blitz format, I think this one probably needs to go. So I wouldn't be surprised if on, was it July 3rd, I think, is the next BNS. I think that's right. I think we see this probably in Blitz. Maybe suspended. Probably. I suppose with Rhinar, maybe not. Maybe not. But Rhinar's pretty good too. I think we see this get banned. So anyway, that's my take. Let me know if you agree, disagree. Either way, have a great freaking pre-release weekend, my friends. And go Commando.